right, guys, this is it. This is the final topic. We have made it here. This is now the final part of this 2-week series as we're talking about the big three. Today, we are talking about your pack. You're backpacking when you go backpacking, and what are the things to look out for when you're buying a new pack, and what things you should consider. Guys, I'm Taylor, and welcome to Southern Heights. So I mentioned the first two things first, and I should have said this in the first video. As far as your sleep system and your shelter, you're going to want to buy those first before you buy your actual pack. So guys, this is one of the biggest things as far as comfort when you're on the trail. Now, we talked about sleep system and tent. That's when you get to camp. So your pack is what you've got to carry all this weight with. And that is why it is one of the most important things, because most of the day, most of the time you're pushing energy out. I guess the best way to put it is when you're on the trail and you've got to carry all that weight on your back. So guys, that is one of the main things to watch out for as far as comfort, as far as weight, as far as materials, as far as how many pockets for things you need while you're on the hike, and the best way to carry all your gear. So one of the things to first think about when you're looking for a pack is size. So most packs are measured in liters. One of the main things to think about is smaller packs are good for the summer, and bigger packs are better for the winter. And why I say that is the smaller packs in winter, because you're not carrying as much gear. I'm not carrying a huge 0-degree sleeping bag in the summertime, and a lot of times I'm really minimizing how much extra gear, like a puffy jacket, or there's a lot of things like gloves or things like that, or booties. I'm trying to keep warm in the summer, so I don't need so much room. So as far as the things in the summer, I would usually stick to, this is me personally, I'd stick to something like a 45 liter. And then in the winter, I like to carry extra gear. There's some guys out there that are some guys or women that carry smaller packs even in the winter, but I stick to something like a 60 to a 70. Now, my Outdoor Vitals pack that I've used over the last year, it is a 65. I used it all the way through the year. And honestly, it was because it was just a great pack. It worked really well for me. And even with the extra room, it was just convenient when I didn't need all that extra room. And it kind of just, it's only right over a pound. So it's a super light pack anyways. And guys, it just worked really well. So that is something to consider. If you want something small on your back, a 45 or something around there, or even down to a 30 if you're crazy like that, is something good for the summer. And then as far as getting into the winter, you consider something like up probably to a 50 liter all the way up to a 70. Now, a lot of Osprey packs out there are on the larger side, and a lot of people carry those year round. And I get it, those, especially for some people that are just getting into it, that's one of the best ones to start with, some of those. But as far as getting into some of the other companies out there, especially cottage companies, and as I want to talk about in this video today, there's a lot of options out there. And when you get on their websites, man, you can start looking down the list of things they need to know, and you're like, I don't know where even to start. One of the most important things you should do before you even start really getting serious and shopping is finding out what is the dimensions of your spine. Now, I'm not going to get clear all the way into it because each website gives a good description of how they want you to measure, so I would check it out. But one of the most common is when you bend your neck forward, that part of your spine or that vertebrae, I guess, pokes out there, and measure right there to the top of your hip bone, which is usually right around your waist level. So that is one of the main things you need to know. And then as far as some other stuff, as far as your waist size, then you need to know that. And then, man, it can just keep on going. That's the main two things that most are going to ask you for. But then that's the other thing I want to talk about. So we talked about knowing your sizing, and another thing is pockets or straps. Some of them would like you to have pockets. Do you want pockets on the belt? Do you want pockets on the shoulders? How many pockets do you want on the back? Or there's just so many pockets, like I don't even know where to start. So one of the things is how are you going to carry your gear as far as things you use when you're on the trail during the day, and things that are going to be in your bigger pack. There's a lot of packs out there that have minimum pack like outside pockets because it's really just for your water. And there is a lot of packs that have tons of pockets on them. I'm a pocket person. That's just me personally. That was one of the things that sold me on the Outdoor Vitals pack, was that it had the huge hip belt pockets, and I love that because I carry tons of snacks on one side. I carry other gear odds and ends that I might use during the day on the other side, especially like if I need my headlamp when it starts getting dark, or if I need a knife real quick, or just stuff like that, or if I need to do my business in the woods, I keep that stuff in those deep pockets. Now, another thing to go with that is a lot of companies now are doing fanny packs. Now, one of the companies I've started looking at is Chicken Tramper Gear, their packs. I've talked about in previous videos where I love their shoulder ones, well, I've looked at their full-on backpacks and I really like their setups. And so that is one of the things I've looked at, but they really push to do a non-pocket on the belt, but do a fanny pack in the front. And I know some people are like, fanny pack? And I'm like, well, you know what? It works really well, and a lot of people are adopting it now. So check that out. That is another thing to look into. A lot of these cottage companies are doing that, is to consider using a fanny pack. And that way, if you're setting up camp and you want to go check out something real quick, you just carry your fanny pack if you want to carry a couple of snacks or things like that. You don't have to worry about lugging your entire pack around. So those are things to check for too, as far as size. Now we've talked about that as far as, or size of the pack, but then sizing yourself to make sure the pack's going to fit you. And then as far as customizations like pockets and stuff. Or another thing is too, is like, do you want to have a water bottle on the front? I forgot to mention that earlier. That is another thing a lot of companies are doing now. Those are some of the main things. Now there's another topic to discuss, and that is, I get asked this question a lot about my Outdoor Vital pack, is waterproofness. Now there's a lot of packs out there that are waterproof. There is a lot of packs out there that are not waterproof, so that is something you really got to consider. But there's a simple solution to that. It's a Nylaflume, basically like or a trash compactor bag. It's just like a bag that you dip down in your bag and put all your gear in it. You don't get it wet. And if it rains on you, you're not really worried about it. It's worked great for me. Been using it for years now. I even showed, well, a real long time ago where I talked about using a trash bag. So that is something you can use too if you just want to get something quick, or if you're in a situation where you don't have a Nylaflume liner or something like that and you need to throw one in there quick. So a lot of packs are like dry bags on your back, for lack of better terms, but a lot of packs aren't. So that's something else to watch out for as far as your material and whether it's waterproof. A lot of them are waterproof, but they're not seam sealed, so they could leak, and that's something to watch out for. Now, a lot of Dyneema packs are, so that's something you don't have to worry about. I might be wrong on this, but I think the Light AF packs are seam sealed, so you don't have to really worry about it as much. Now, I'm someone who uses Nylaflume all the time, but that's just me personally. So guys, I hope these are some of the biggest points for you to watch out for. I just want to say that this is Rachel's pack. Now, believe it or not, as much as we talk about gear and we do a lot of backpacking, this is a REI co-op bag. Now, Rachel is hard-headed, and she just wants to use what she's got. She's saying, I'm just going to use this pack until it just falls apart. Well, she's over 2 years now, and it's still holding up. Now, she's very small, so she doesn't have a really big pack. This is only a 35-liter pack, but it works well to carry her sleep system. I carry our tent, and then she carries her food and stuff in here, and that way it works well together. All that to say is I wanted to bring this up, is this is just a simple, affordable pack, and it's worked well. So you have to really consider all these options to find what works best for you. Now, I had the Outdoor Vitals pack. I've done a couple videos on this pack, and I've used it on multiple trips that you've probably seen. It's worked really well. But as far as doing YouTube and trying to experiment with other companies, and as far as doing other trips, I'm gonna upgrade next year. So I'm already scouting right now to look at what's gonna be my next pack. So that's something I watch out for. But this Outdoor Vitals pack has been great, and honestly, there is nothing wrong with it. I've put probably 200 to 300 miles on it. That's pretty low compared to some people, but for me, it's done really well. And honestly, if I didn't want to try some new stuff out, I would continue to use it. It's been a great pack. So once you find what works for you, you're good and set up, and make sure that all your gear will fit properly. All right, so one other thing I want to talk about, and this is a bonus topic when it comes to packs. Now, a lot of like mainstream packs, Osprey, they don't come with a lot of these front pockets or back pockets, however you want to argue it. But this is a Lycra material. There's also other companies out there that are making a stronger material, like a netting. It's kind of like a fish netting. But they, because those Lycra can stretch, but those don't stretch as much. This is awesome. So this is the split one with Outdoor Vitals. Most companies just have one big layer that goes over the front, but having this on your pack is one of the easiest way to carry that extra gear on the back that you might need during the day, or like my gas tanks or my rain jacket and stuff like that I like to just keep on the outside. So when you're checking out packs, I just want to tell you, I haven't heard of anybody that did not like having this on the back of their pack. So watch out for that when you're buying a pack. That's 2 weeks of the big three. And so I kind of hit all of these as far as making sure watching out for these things when you're buying new gear. I might have missed a few things. I'm not going to say that I caught everything, but these are some of the most vital things you should watch out for. And watch a lot of reviews. Man, I'm like a review nerd. I check out everything and watch tons of videos on anything before I buy it. So I hope I'm helping you do this when you start scouting for your gear. So guys, this was the final part of the series. I'll make sure to link this whole series below if you just somehow ended up on this video first. I hope you enjoyed this series. series, please like it if you did. I know we're getting towards the end of the year and we're finishing up. And I hinted last week in the first video that we have a giveaway coming up, and that video is tomorrow, so be watching out for it. I think I mentioned it in the community tab. It's going to be at 10 a.m. Eastern time. I think I'll make sure to put that in the comments if different, but be watching out for that video. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this. If you watched this series, if you watched it just through today and you're new to us and you want to be a part of our community, please hit that subscription bell. We would love to have you here. Hit the bell notification. We do a video every Thursday. We got a lot of great trips we're trying to line up for next year, and we're excited about and buying new gear to share with you and share what things we're learning on the trail. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this, and we will see you next week.